We're back once again, only on it's after hours, only on Full Swap Radio. And joining me here on location, this young lady here. Well, this year she has broken out in a big way. She's been all over the place. She's shooting a ton of content. A lot of people are want her, and she's in demand. Well, when Elizabeth Schuyler says keep an eye on her, she's going to be the breakout star, mainstream wise, 2025. I got to listen. So I give you
Oh, Liz
the
is so
sexy,
sweet.
the very beautiful, the very elegant, but naughty. I give you
Very
Sienna
nice.
Rae. So Sienna, let's start off here with how did this come about? How did a housewife from Wisconsin of all places, Hackerland, decide I'm going to hop on the bad foot, do a good thing, and jump in this thing called content creator?
So it all kind of started just with my husband and I exploring our sexuality. So we became avid porn fans and we're watching a lot of it, and it just opened up our mind to what else there was that we could do out there and kind of exploring non-monogamy and swinging. So we joined the lifestyle, and from there, we realized how much I thrived in such a sex positive environment, how much I enjoyed people watching me and like kind of like putting on a show, and just, I don't know, it just felt like it was kind of meant to be. So after, sharing a lot of not films, but like a little bit of content with like friends, like I wasn't on OF or anything like that. It was just like purely pleasure and just for my husband and I to look back on. We decided, let's try to get my feet wet into the industry. And I wasn't really doing content or anything yet, but I did Hot Milfs Fuck, which is very amateur focused. And I had the best time ever. Like just being on set, it was so freeing and so fun. And I love being around people in the industry. And they asked me to stay an extra day and film another scene with them. And I was like, heck yeah. So that's where it just all started off.
So you've blown it big. So and the good part is you've blown it big, and now a lot of people want to work with you. The bad news is you've blown it big, and now people probably more people recognize you. So has it happened yet? Because it was in Wisconsin, it's very, a lot of these towns and places are very close knit. Everybody knows everybody. Has it happened yet where you're buying groceries or picking your dry cleaning, and all of a sudden goes, "Hey, I've seen you somewhere," and all of a sudden like, "Oh crap."
I think that people know, well, I do know that people know, but no one has said anything directly to me. I don't think they have the balls to admit that they watch porn themselves, because if they admit that they know me, then they admit they watch porn. And so that's kind of how it is, because we do live in a very small, more conservative type town. So I'm sure, like, I feel like I get a lot of glances sometimes where, especially from men. So I think people know, but no one has the balls to say anything about it. Like, of course, other housewives that have found out have kind of like talked amongst themselves about it. But like I said, no one has come up to me directly. No one has, because I've lived kind of all over the states. Just with like, I moved around a little bit with my family, and then my husband was in the military. So, like, I've been to a lot of places. I'm a very outgoing person, so I've met a lot of people, and no one has, hit me up on Facebook or anyone that I know of. Like, no one has said anything to my husband or anything like that. So, like I said, I think it's mainly them not wanting to own up to them watching porn. So,
So, and I know you probably don't because you're a classy lady underneath. Do you ever walk into these and go, "Hey, so what you talking about?" And have it just flashing that grin of like, "Yes, I dare you. Please say something, please. I really want this to be. I want to basically be the elephant in the room and know that I'm the elephant in the room. Please say something."
sometimes I actually do, because, like I said, I feel like I do get glances and like certain looks and things like that. I mean, maybe it's me being paranoid, but I just sometimes I do think it would be better to just fully be out there and everyone kind of know, so that I'm not feeling awkward. Like, I think I feel more awkward the fact that it's kind of like a secret in a way. But with being a mother, that's kind of the reason why I'm not fully like, hey, like I'm out there. But if anyone were to approach me or want to talk about it or anything, I am very, very open about talking about my sexuality. I was before I joined the industry. So I absolutely love, to talk about it with people. I think that's why I get so excited when I go to LA or Florida, because I'm surrounded by like-minded people and I can just fully be myself and make my like raw humor jokes and sexual jokes and just, talk about it and stuff. But yeah, sometimes I do wish it was out there just so it wasn't the elephant in the room situation.
So yeah, as I said, if you don't know, you can check her out. She's at siennaray.com. And I clicked on the site,
Yes, my
and
husband
there's
made
a lot.
it.
It's professionally done. So that means you put work into it, and you had to get content, you had to get professional photos, you had to do
Yeah,
all
and
these
we still need to
scenes.
update it too because I've had some, more scenes since then. And of course, like my big airtight Milfy debut just happened at the end of October. So we want to get, more of that on there and stuff too. But it's my husband who is the tech savvy person. And he is also has a full-time job and is working on his MBA. So it just takes a little bit of extra time.
So how do you guys do that? Where all of a sudden, he's working almost three jobs now. He's, a husband slash his business slash webmaster. By the way, he's also as you said, he's getting his MBA. You are a full-time mom slash adult content creator slash makeup artist slash, you know, personal booker, calendar, scheduler.
Stress.
There's days like, okay, honey, can we just get away for a day? Put our phones down. We just find a way to ditch the kids on the grandparents and just get away. Just no phones, nothing. Just actually have like happy time to ourselves and not worry about websites and shoots and kids and lunches and your work and websites and just all of a sudden you go ah.
Yeah, it can be kind of hectic, and I feel like before I joined the industry, it was much easier for us. Like we used to travel all the time because we actually have to travel to Chicago for our swinging lifestyle because there's not much of a scene in Wisconsin. So it's like 4.5 hour drive that we have to do to the club that we attend. And since I'm traveling now and like um just my husband and daycare and friends like help out with that because my in-laws they know but they're not a big fan of it, so they said if we were going to continue on they didn't want to know about it. So it's just a lot trickier now to get away because I have to be away to film and stuff like that. But we still really try to make time for each other. And we're pretty chill. Like we could totally just, grill some steaks together and watch TV and cuddle. Like, it's just important to us to just make sure that we do make time for each other, whether it's sexual or not. And later this month, we're going to be attending a swinger party. So we're super excited about that because we haven't been to one in a while because of all the traveling and stuff. So very exciting.
So how does it work with the swinging? Because I remember talking with several swingers, including Kiki Lou, and there are some couples that stay forever. They swing, they're happy, they stay loving, and then there's a lot you hear that break up because all of a sudden it's like sampling the forbidden fruit. Next thing you know, you get a taste. You start going, well, I really like the pizza, but now all of a sudden I like the steak, and I want to have that steak. I'm using metaphors here, but
For
how do
sure.
you guys keep it so that okay, this is just sex, but we still love each other? Like, what is the difference between what you have, which is love, and just the sex, which some people say, oh, sex is love, but in your case, no, love is love, and sex is just sex.
Yes, and that is 100% our case because there are a lot of swinging couples that are polyamorous, which we respect that, but we also know that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for like a relationship with other people. We can have friendships with them, but we're not looking for more than that. We just want the sex, the fun, the experience together. And I think just the thing that has been the best for us is just how open we've been communication wise. Don't get me wrong, we've had fuck ups, we've learned from it, but through those fuck ups, like we've had to talk about things. And both of us know that we can say whatever like insecurities we might be feeling, and the other won't be mad. Like they're going to hear us out, they're going to try to understand from like our perspective, or maybe they were doing something and they didn't realize that it was bothering the other person. Like we're very accepting of taking feedback from one another, and also we check in with each other a lot. So even when we do have play experiences, like, you know, on the ride back, we talk about it. Like, was there anything that we didn't like or anything that happened, you know? And another thing, too, is because we know we can openly talk to each other about anything, that opens the door to talk about fantasies. Like, we know that we can be like, hey, you know, I think this is kind of hot. Like, I want to try it. And the other one's not going to be like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, that's awful. Or no, like, how could you, or anything like that. We know we can say, okay, like, kind of like take it in, see, you know, how they feel about it, give their feedback, and we either decide to try it. And if we don't like it, we can put it on the table a different time or just wait. So it's the communication. Like we're constantly checking in with each other, seeing how we feel, even if it seems kind of stupid, because there's been times in the past where we didn't check in, like while things were evolving, and it did end up in hurt feelings and things like that, or miscommunication or misunderstanding. I think the biggest thing is not to assume how the other person feels, or assume they accept something just because they said they were okay with it before. So just making sure that we stay open with each other about everything. And like I said, we've never, ever since we've joined in on it, we've never been interested in the polyamorous aspect of swinging. So it's nothing that we've pursued or anything like that. And although the pleasure is a huge part of it, I think just like the taboo and the naughtiness is a thing for us too. And like being able to do that together, like there's just so many different aspects to it, you know what I mean, that just make it what it is. And so all kinds of dynamics for different couples and things like that. Like every swinger you talk to is going to have a different approach and different way that they do things. But yeah, just staying true to ourselves and to each other is the best route. Sorry, I'm like rambling.
No, nothing about I enjoy this. So let's talk about something that's a little more easier. The
Yes.
milfy scene. Because I'm guessing all of a sudden that's just a lot more. You go in there and all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, this is I'm getting my makeup done. There's catering.
Yeah,
I'm
it
getting
was.
pampered. Like, how much is that like for you? Like, yeah, I know it's not as good as like me making my own content. I make all the money, but damn, I don't have to worry about any of this. I can just sit there and get pampered and not have to worry about all the scheduling and paperwork and freaking filing stuff and getting the camera lights and everything. This is just heaven for one day.
Yes, yes. And my husband and I have been huge Vixen Media Group fans from the beginning. Like we've always loved their stuff. So I remember Milfy was just like coming out whenever I was joining the industry. And that was kind of like, you know, oh my gosh, like maybe one day type of thing. And to get the opportunity to do Milfy within my first year, because I filmed at the end of May and my first year was mid June. So I got it like right in that first year. And to be able to do that, like I still remember, like I was in LA, I was actually staying with Liz and her family too. And it's just still didn't even feel real. I thought it was going to be like someone was like, just kidding, you weren't actually like gonna do this, you know, you're too new or you're too fresh or you're not ready, like you're too amateur. But no, I got there and it was an amazing experience. And like you said, they pamper you. And another thing too is everyone on set, from lighting, photography, makeup, wardrobe, director, the talent, everyone is so passionate about it all. they're so passionate about the details. Like they want to give an amazing scene. So to be a part of something like that was just amazing. And it feels weird because, like you said, they're doing your hair, your makeup, you're trying on outfits, they're taking pictures of it and sending it to Kate and Cross to see if like that's what she wants you to wear. And you're just like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. So yeah, it was just, I'm so very thankful for that experience and for the company in general.
With all this going on, how do you balance everything? Because that's the toughest part here now. It's you're Sienna Rae, porn star, content creator, you're planning shoots, you're scheduling stuff for Exotica, you're doing all this wonderful stuff, and yet you're still Sienna, loving mother, dutiful wife,
Yeah.
revered sister. So you try to keep both of these lives separate. How tough is that when it's easy for them to bleed through because all of a sudden it's a phone call here, an email there, there's a social post, somebody accesses the wrong content, and you're trying to do this tightrope where it's like, okay, keeping both things separate and making sure they don't bleed through, because, which is easier said than done.
Yeah. I think the hardest part is mainly just with like the kids because I love, love, love being a mom. I have two younger kids and they are both a mama's boy and a mama's girl. Like they love spending time with me. They love cuddles and all that type of stuff. So just trying to keep like most of my business stuff done during the day when they're at school is huge for me. And then when I am on my phone, just to kind of keep it private. Cause I mean, there has been times where they caught a glimpse of something or whatever. So that's the biggest separation. But for me, I kind of actually really like that I get to be these two separate people because they're so different, but at the same time, it's still me. Like I am still both of those people and getting to be able to be both of those things at the same time. That's what I love the most. Like, and it's kind of like my own little naughty, like turn on, you know what I mean? That I can, go fly and do an airtight scene and then come back and go to like a Christmas program or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but I make it work. My family is obviously the most important to me, and I don't travel as much because of that. So if like you look at like a list of like the scenes I've done for the year, like I'm not doing as many scenes as someone who's local and can, consistently do that. And I know it'll take longer to build my career that way, but for me, that's what works best for my family right now. And I'm still getting to travel and do my slutcations and have fun and then come back and be mom. So it's been an easy balance. I think the hardest thing is just the scheduling before a trip because I don't think many people know how much you really have to put into your trips. And I'm paying for everything. I think a lot of people think that companies always pay for everything, and that's not always the case. It does happen with the nicer companies, sometimes like Vixen will, but for the most part, I'm paying for my flight, childcare, my rental car, if I'm not staying with a friend. Like it's just trying to balance all those things out and making sure that I'm in town when the important things are happening for my family. And that's the hardest part is really juggling the scheduling of the trips and making sure that everybody has Sienna when they need her.
It's, as we said, the toughest thing nowadays to content creator is standing out. How
Yes.
do you do it now? Because as you said, you're not competing as if a rivalry, but you have Liv Schuyler, you have Reagan Fox, you have Caitlin Bell, you have Sherry DeVille, you have
Oh, I
Caitlin
mean,
Bell, you have all these
there's,
people just alone in MILFs, who it's like, okay, they have a site, they have a Fansly page, they have a OnlyFans page, they have this. We're not even talking about even like Subgirl and Peach and all the other people who are not in the porn scene, but in the content creator scene. Like, how tough is it to get people to pay when you're almost like a Dunkin' Donuts franchise in New England? There's one, and then you throw a stone, and then you hit six others by mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. It's honestly, I mean, I feel like it is very difficult just because it is a very oversaturated field right now, especially like you said with MILFs, but luckily MILFs are very hot um and popular at the time. But I mean, for me, I've tried to just not get down about it and try not to compare myself as much and just be myself because that's the biggest thing that my fans have commented about. And this is across like different things when it comes to like I do mini vid customs a lot and OF. Like I don't really do much other than that. Like and I'm not, you know, a TikToker influencer type of person and that's a huge thing too that really puts you out there, you know what I mean? And that's just not who I am. I'm not one to do like the dances and the things. So I've just been staying true to myself and I'm a very kind, compassionate, open person and I love how my fans tell me how they can see it in not only in my scenes but also just when they communicate with me. That's the biggest compliment I ever get is like how easy I am to talk with and how like understanding and appreciative and kind. Like a lot of my fans say that's not the norm these days on fan sites. Like a lot of the girls are very rude and like demanding and things like that, but I just try to just stay kind of like my normal goofy self. And that's what's honestly been working for me. But at the same time, I'm not competing on that high level as a lot of the people that you were mentioning. And like I said, I'm not local, so it's not the same. I don't have a lot of people I can collab with, so I have to focus more on solo content and things like that. But another big thing, my fans love that I love anal and I love DP and stuff. So that's another thing that I sell a lot of is that type of content. And you have a lot of performers, some of them that you mentioned that don't do anal or DP either. So that kind of sets me apart. And the fact that I really, really love it. Like they can tell in my videos and in my professional work that I really enjoy it. They tell me how raw and real it is and natural, you know. I'm not faking it for a check.
So what's the plans for 2025? Because already now, I'm guessing the Melfi thing has sort of blown you up. All of a sudden, more people know who you are, more people are checking you out. It means hopefully more companies are taking notes. They're going, hey, when you got to come out to LA? When you got to come out to Florida? Hey, Vegas is a great place to come. Hey, we got that in
Yeah.
New York. So what's the plan for early 2025? I know that, as I said, the family, it's like tough because, well, there's certain times you can't get out, out of Wisconsin. But what is like, I guess, the plan going forward for let's say the next 3 or 4 months?
So I won't be at AVN, unfortunately, but I am traveling to LA the weeks right before that. So during XBiz, I will be there, but I am, you know, it's a filming trip. And this is the first trip that I've taken since my Milfy scene released. So I have been in touch with I reach out to different directors and companies and show interest and wanting to work with them and stuff. And people have been very responsive this time around, you know, and that's another thing too. You don't give up. You have to keep on, you know, putting yourself out there and just knowing that sometimes it just takes a little extra time. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's something about you. You just, you know, it's right time, right place type of thing. So yeah, I am very excited that a couple of companies that I've reached out to have been very responsive and said like, "Oh, I'm definitely going to book you in January." And I'm like, "Fuck yes." Like I've been wanting to work with you the whole time because like I said, I'm a porn fan, so like I want to make those type of scenes that I love to watch with the directors who I really enjoy their work. So to hear that is very exciting. And I do think that 2025 is going to be a bigger year for me having that Milfy scene come out. I also have a feature through Missa X that is the first episode is already out, but it's going to end in an airtight scene as well. And it's more the stepmom type of dynamic, which people really enjoy me in. I think I kind of have that like nurturing motherly thing, but I'm really kinky. So And it also shows my acting skills as well, because those scripts were 13, 14 pages long. And I was very proud of myself. I kicked ass on those, and I'm so excited for the full thing to come out. And I think that's going to help me as well with, more of those scripted scenes and directors and companies too. So only up to go. And I am going to try to travel a lot more this year as well. My husband and I were actually just talking about that. He's feeling more comfortable, handling business while I'm gone and things like that. And so, yeah, I'm going to try to travel more frequently, which means more scenes. And I'm super excited. I can't wait for 2025.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I give you the very talented and the very fast rising, but sweet. I give you it is none other than Sienna Rae. So, Sienna, once again, where can fans check you out at? Of course, the website, of course, Sienna Rae. That's SIENNARAE. But where else? I mean, is there a OnlyFans? Is there a mini vids? A fans? Like, where else can fans hit you up at?
Yes. So on my website, I do have all of the links, but you can find me. My Twitter and my OnlyFans are X Sienna Rae X for both of those. I'm on ManyVids as Sienna Rae. I've got a lot of videos and collabs and things on there, and I really, really do love customs. And I don't charge a super crazy amount like most people do. Just gonna put that in there. And I'm on Instagram as X Sienna X Ray. Wait, Sienna X no, X Sienna X Ray. Sorry, the other one was taken, so it's kind of confusing to throw all those in there. And then I also do Sex Panther and all those little things. But yeah, mainly OnlyFans and ManyVids is where I do most of my work for sure. And I work with 101 modeling for my pro scenes.
Sienna Rae, ladies and gentlemen, once again, always on a pleasure. Have you on the show. We come back, a lot more going on here, only on it's After Hours, only on Full Swap Radio.